Hello everyone, Denise here. Today I'm going to show you the stitch for December 2023 in the round for Paying It Forward Friday. This is the Warm Wishes hat. Let's get started. So the materials you will need to make this hat will be yarn and a hook, whatever yarn you want and whatever hook you want. I'm going to be using some of this newer yarn that I recently purchased and did a review on. I can link that below. This is Made with Love, the cottony one by Lion Brand Yarns. It is pretty decent yarn. You'll have to check out my review. This is Red Wine, and it is 3.5 ounces, 100 grams, 185 yards, 169 meters. Content on the yarn is 60% cotton, 40% acrylic, and it is a medium 4. Calls for a 5mm crochet hook, and I have that right here. This crochet hook is from the dollar store or Hobby Lobby. They have them at both. They're identical, so I don't remember which ones were from what store. I think this one is from Dollar Tree, and then the gray one I picked up, I believe this one was from Hobby Lobby, but they are identical. Like they're the same hook, so either way you can pick them up at Hobby Lobby or Dollar Tree. I'm going to start with the pink, and it's red wine. This color is hot cocoa. So let's get started with the tutorial. So for this hat, we are going to start by the brim. I am not making a quote brim like you normally would be, like front post or ribbing. I'm going to start the hat in pattern, and you can make yours as long as you want and then fold up the end, the excess. So we need multiples of 2. I will leave a general size to everybody age-wise in the description box below, and you can use that to help you decide your measurements for whatever size you're making. I am going to make our granddaughter a hat out of this red wine. So she is currently 6 months old. So I am going to make a 6-month-old measurement, and I am making it long enough to where it can be flipped up. So it will be longer than a normal like beanie style hat. So multiples of 2. Once you get your multiples of 2, I will be right back with you. Okay, so I'm at 13 inches, and this yarn has tons of stretch. So I am not worried about it at 13 inches. However, if you are using a yarn that has less stretch, make sure that when you stretch your yarn, it will pull to the circumference that you need it to fit, the head that you need to fit. So once you are done with that, we're going to join in the round and then do a round of single crochet to start off our project. If you don't want to do that, you can do a foundation single crochet chain to start, and that's the way I would prefer, but I know most people probably prefer the chain method. So I did mine to 13 inches, and I am going to fit mine to a 6-month-old's head. Circumference on a typical 6-month-old would be 17 inches. It also depends on the child. So depending on who you're making the hat for, like I said, I'll leave the general size below for each age range. Just a quick Google will give you a result of the average size woman's head in the US is about 21 3/4 inches. An average man in the US is about 22.5 inches for circumference. So it all depends on the person. It all depends on who you know you're making it for, and if they have a larger head, go larger. If you don't know, just go with the basic size chart that I put below. I'm going to join in the round now and do a round of single crochet. Okay, so joining in the round without twisting. Slip stitch, and then you'll need to chain 1 And like I said, we're going to do a single crochet all the way around each stitch. Keep in mind that you want to do this fairly loose. You don't want to make this too tight of a single crochet all the way around, or your band will have a hard time flipping up if you need it to flip up. So single crochet in that first stitch here and in each stitch all the way around. Again, if you want to do the other method, which would be the foundation single crochet, go right ahead and do as many foundation single crochets as you need. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I did 34 chains for my hat. And again, that's for a six-month-old. Once you get all the way around, we will start our patterning. So I will meet up with you in just a moment when I am done with the single crochets. So if you're going to work the foundation single crochet, you start with a slip knot, and then you'll chain 2. 1 and 2. And now we're going to go back into this first chain here. We're going to pull up a loop. We're going to yarn over and go through 1 loop. Now we're going to yarn over and go through both loops. That's 1 foundation single crochet. Now we're going to go into this chain right here. Yarn over and pull up. Yarn over, go through 1. Yarn over, go through 2. 2 foundation single crochets made. Each time you go into this loop, yarn over and pull up, yarn over, go through 1, yarn over, go through 2. 3 made. Go into the loop, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, go through 1, yarn over, go through 2. 1, 2, 3, 4 made. Go into the loop, pull up. Just repeat that until you get to the length that you want. Once you get your single crochet round done, we need to slip stitch to our beginning single crochet here. And now we're going to start working our stitch pattern. So we are going to go into our next stitch, and that's right here. And that's how we would normally go into our stitch, but we're not going to do normal, okay? We're going to be different, and we're going to put our hook into the back loop like this. If you look at that V, there's a V here. If you look at that, this one is away from you, and this one is toward you. So this would be the back, and this would be the front. We're going to go into the back loop, and then we're going to do a single crochet. Now we went into the back loop on that stitch, and now we're going to mark our stitch with a stitch marker, and we are going to mark the front loop, not the back loop or the whole entire stitch. We're going to mark just that front loop, and that's going to tell us when we come all the way around to our next round, we are going to be going in the front loop. So let me grab a stitch marker. I'm going to put that around the front loop so that I know when I come around, I need to go into the front loop of my work. All right, so next stitch, we're going to go into the front loop here. There's a back and a front. We're going into the front and doing a single crochet. Next stitch, we're going into the back, doing a single crochet. The next one, we're going in the front and doing a single crochet. We're going to do that all the way around this round till we get to the end here, and then I will meet back up with you and we'll go on. So I will see you in just a moment. All right, to the end of the round here, I have a back single crochet to do. And now I know I have it marked, so I'm doing a front loop single crochet here. I'm going to remove my stitch marker, and I'm going to put it in the back loop of the one I just made to remind myself next time around I need to go into the back loop. So next stitch here, going into the back loop, and then the front loop. And we're going to alternate that all the way around. When we get to the end of this round, we are going to switch the loop of the front stitch that we did, because we have it marked. We're going to switch it, and we're going to be working in the back loop next round. Round after that, you're going to switch it and go into the front, and that's what you're going to continue to do. It's as simple as that. You just reverse that first stitch, and then each stitch after that, you will alternate, and then you end up with that beautiful textured look like we had on the washcloth that I brought you last week in the tutorial for Project Worked Flat. I can link that below for you as well so that you can see that. And once you get to your height, which for me will be, well, for a 6-month-old in general size, it is about 5.5 inches from the crown of a hat to the brim. But if you are turning your brim up, you want to add to that, and I'll probably add a couple of inches to mine. So I'll probably work, total on my hat will probably be around 7.5 inches. And if you're making an adult hat, like I said, circumference for an average woman is 21 3/4 in circumference. And then from crown to brim would be 8 inches. And if you're going to turn that brim up, you should add probably 2 to 3 inches. And for a male, circumference is 22.5 inches. And then crown to brim would be 8.5 inches. And if you're going to turn the brim up, then you need to add probably 3 inches to that as well. So I am going to keep working, alternating every row here, and marking on my stitch marker, marking on my first stitch with my stitch marker what one I should be going into, so that I keep alternating my stitches. And I will meet back up with you when I get to my height, and then we'll talk about the top of the hat. Okay, so I wanted to show you my measurement now, because I should be approaching around that 6-inch mark. Ah, yes. About 6.5 inches. So if you want to decrease, you want to stop around 1 inch or 1.5 inches before your measurement that you want as your total. If you want to cinch the top of your hat, you want to make sure that you're getting an extra bit as well, because the cinching will take up some of your length from your brim to your crown. So just keep it in mind. You want to stop same point around 1 inch, 1.5 inches or so, so you can decrease or scrunch the top. If you are scrunching the top and you feel like maybe when you're looking at your project that when you flip this up, your band might be a little bit tight, finish your edge here, just finish your round, cut your yarn, weave in, and then cinch at this end instead. That way you don't have to worry about this, your single crochet edge being too tight to fold up. So that's just an option. If you want to, you could always add a brim to this. If you want to do like a front post, back post, double crochet, you could do that as well. And then just cinch one end up and put the post stitches on the end. I really honestly love the no brim. I did it last month for my tutorial, and I really, really, really like it. So I want to finish this hat the same way, but I am going to decrease up here. I'm not going to cinch this one. I'm going to decrease my stitches, and this is how I'm going to do it. So on the next round where you would normally do your back single crochet, back loop single crochet. We're going to go into that back loop here. We're going to yarn over and we're going to pull up. We're not going to finish though, okay? We're going to go into the next stitch and put our hook in and pull up a loop. We are going to single crochet 2 stitches together in pattern. I'm going to take this stitch marker out before I finish that stitch. I'm going to yarn over and go through all 3. Now, on our very first stitch of the round, since we worked into the back loop, we just worked into the back and the front of 2 stitches. I'm going to put this on front because last time was back. We always reverse, so. And now we're going to continue a little bit in pattern. We just did back and front together. So now we're going to do back, front, back, and front. And now we're going to decrease again. We're going to go in the back, pull up a loop, and go in the front and pull up a loop. Yarn over, go through all 3. Continue in pattern for 4 stitches, back, front, back, front. And now we're going to decrease again. Go into back, go into front, yarn over, go through all 3. 4 stitches of regular, back, front, back, front, and decrease. Go into back, go into front, go through all 3. Back loop, single crochet, front loop, single crochet, back loop, single crochet, front loop, single crochet. Now we're going to decrease again. Go into the back, go to the front, go through all 3. Back loop single, front loop single, back loop single, front loop single. Going to decrease 1 more time. Back and front, yarn over, go through all 3. You have 1 more stitch left at the end of that round, or if your count is different than mine, you may not have 1 more left. Either way, if you have 1 left, go ahead and skip it. If you have 2 left, do another decrease, and then you move on to the next round and decrease in the same manner as you did before. You keep doing that until your hat is to the point where you can cinch it closed like a drawstring, and I'll show you that in a moment when I'm done. Just weave in and out of the stitches like a drawstring bag and cinch up the top. I'll be right back to you after I weave in my ends. All right, finished measurements on mine. 9 inches, which is a good length for turning the hat up. It ended up longer than I had thought it would, but I think it's going to work out well. It doesn't matter how much brim you have to fold up, as long as you have some. As long as it's not too short, it's good. So I'm going to grab my little model head for smaller heads for babies, and I'll be right back. So one is 15 and one is 18. She's in between these two, so I'm gonna see if it fits the 15 and go from there. I know her head is bigger than 15. 15 is a little bigger than a newborn, like 0 to 3 months. She's definitely bigger than that. Well, it would fit a newborn because you have that brim. All right, let's try it on the 18-inch one. Raise my lights up here. Pretty snug. And there you have it on the 18-inch one. So it should fit her perfect since she's larger than 15 and much smaller than 18. So she is more closer to this size than this size. So this hat should fit her about perfect. So that is the tutorial for the Paying It Forward Friday, December 2023 Stitch in the Round. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you make tons of hats for all the people that you love. Send me pictures or messages on Instagram. I am Spiffy Handmade on there. And you can always email me at spiffyhandmade@gmail.com. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. Until next time, bye.